Good morning. The dominant legal practitioners always want to stick to their field permanently, and they plan the other advocates not to enter the said plan, and this conspiracy being worked out with the assistance of legislators, chamber of commerce, and corporate big shots. That's why periodically they used to compel the legislation to pass act after act, amendment after amendment. Company law is being amended for more than 1,000 times. Now, then they have started bringing Commercial Codes Act to exhibit their dominance over the corporate fields. Later on, now they are now able to bring insolvency code. See, earlier there was two insolvency act. You must understand what was the insolvency procedure. It is not that one can file insolvency application if he is not in a position to pay his debt beyond his assets. The creditor who have given loan to any person or company may also approach the court stating that the assets of the debtor is limited one. He may not be in a position to disburse his creditors. Therefore, he can also file an application to declare insolvent, and these things are there. The same thing has been incorporated under insolvency code in the different categories: corporate debtor, corporate creditors. So you do not hesitate to go through this area. I want that if you started concentrating on one or two judgments and the code, you could also get away with the difficulties in understanding the insolvency code. Kindly go through that entirety of the act. But for your reference, I intend to cite this judgment AR 2020 Calcutta, page 90. It deals with Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, Section 7, and Contract Act 133, 134, 139, 145. Then the Section 14, moratorium period, is not applicable to personal guarantees of corporate debtor. So the proceedings was between the corporate debtor and corporate creditors. Then you have to understand what is Credit Information Bureau Limited, CIBL, CIBIL. Then now for that also they have changed the name, TransUnion CIBIL Limited. Why all this happening? Why, you must understand, that was I have stated. Then you see in this given case they have discussed about Contract Act. Contract Act is not that much of serious. It's duties, liabilities of guarantor, and that has been discussed at various paragraphs. Then the Calcutta High Court has held that the liability of the surety did not extinguish, and all those things, and they have started the proceedings in recovering the guarantor, an individual guarantor, not corporate guarantor. Kindly go through that. Case is Gauri Shankar Jain vs. Punjab National Bank and another. AR 1982 SC 1497 was relied, and that was before implementing insolvency and the bankruptcy code. See, bankruptcy is something different. Insolvency is something different. You have to understand. Bankruptcy means a deliberate act on the companies to bankrupt the entire business. Insolvency is either voluntary submission to declare that the said business is at stake, not to disburse the eligible creditors, or at the instance of creditors who can approach the court. All these things are nomenclatures are being changed, and don't leave that if it is something, some magic was going, as if earlier we used to afraid to enter into Hindu law because of this Vedas, Upanishads. There is nothing. And if you, I have seen a professor when I was attending a class before Nalsu University. A Muslim young professor was fantastic in delivering the Hindu concept of law. Best wishes.